Hello, podcast community. This is Three Questions Podcast, episode number 29. My name is Cam. Thank you for listening to this. I just recorded episode 28. Now I'm going to do episode 29. You guys have been submitting a ton of questions, and the really good questions. I'm looking at three really good ones that I want to get into. And first, before we get there, I want to thank Howie from Ad Sciences, adssciences.com. Howie runs social campaigns and targets micro audiences to get products and services in front of you guys. That is who is sponsoring this podcast up until episode 50. I'm forever grateful. I've known Howie for a long time, referred a lot of entrepreneurs, small businesses, big businesses to him, and they have flourished using his platform because he's able to target exactly who you want to. Right. If you think about LinkedIn, you think about people's titles. If you want to sell a product to somebody with a certain title, Howie's the guy to go to for that. So if you're looking to get the word out about something, please go email Howie, do a free audit with him. That is adssciences.com, adssciences.com. And again, thank you to him for being our sponsor up until episode 50. So let's get right into it. I have three questions. These were submitted anonymously, so I'm just going to read them. And if you're listening, you know the answers to these questions. So I'm going to go ahead and start the timer now. Question number one, if you could do one thing, what would it be? This is so easy for me. I have thought about this my entire life. If I could do one thing, it would be to travel, eat, adventure with my future wife and my dog, meet people, go on amazing adventures, eat great food, drink amazing wine, learn about people, volunteer with them, work, create content, tell stories, stay up till 4 a.m. just listening to people at a candlelit, villa somewhere that's, south of Tuscany, or sleep in the mountains of Cappadocia, ride in a hot air balloon, climb through the catacombs of Paris, tour through Egypt, go down the Nile, swim with great sharks in South Africa. Basically, I would be Anthony Bourdain and a little bit of like Bear Grylls, but have such an emphasis on focusing on other people, telling stories from these really hidden communities, seeing the world's most beautiful and brutal places all in once, and just really be like an old school type explorer that just wants to learn, journal, see new ways of life, experience new things. That is what my soul craves. And I feel like that's a very human emotion. I think a lot of people can probably relate to doing something like that or wanting to do something like that. I think I've been bitten by the travel bug, fortunately, at a very young age. And there's nothing more that I love than learning about people and being able to help them, which is why I also have built my own company, this sort of legacy company, and CK Collective, right? CK Collective, yes, it's a coaching and marketing platform for entrepreneurs and people trying to level up their lives and grow spiritually, academically, financially, physically, emotionally, mentally. All of those things are super important, and I love helping people do that, but I also love learning new tips, tricks, tactics from the internet and everywhere else. Every time I've traveled, I just ask questions and I listen, and I just want to learn from people who are out there and doing some things, right? I remember this one time in Iceland, I was talking to this tour guide for like 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm just asking him questions about his way of life and how he grew up, and I was just like totally enthralled. And I find that when I travel, especially overseas, internationally, to a place I've never been before, don't know much about, or is out of my comfort zone, I find that is when I am my most authentic self. Okay. I'm very empathetic. I'm very attuned. I'm very present. And time just slips by. And it is such a good feeling just learning about other people, cultures, and seeing new things. So if there's one thing that I could do, it would be that, and to create a business or content or some sort of community or just some sort of change to inspire people to get out there, right? Stay fit, get healthy, travel, see new ways of life. I am figuring out how to do that one step at a time now. And I think that people get old because they stop seeking, they stop learning, they stop adventuring, they stop having fun. I don't really know what I'm trying to say there, but I want to do that for the rest of my life. I just, that would be my calling, and I don't want to ramble too much, but adventure, travel, learn about other people, empower other people, and just learn so much. I'm so hungry for knowledge. So if there's one thing I could do, it would just be continue learning, continue growing as a human being, and advance my overall well-being and the well-being of others through the sharing of common knowledge that we all have, right? We're all good at stuff. We all have weaknesses. And I like that collective mix of just everyone sharing and helping each other out. I think that's a goal of our species. And I don't know how we've gotten so far away from that in today's world. So that's 4 minutes for that question. But basically, I would be Anthony Bourdain or a hybrid mix of that and Bear Grylls, I guess. Question number 2. Oh, what is my end goal? Question number 2 is, what is my end goal? Retire, be financially free, but still work, build a company legacy. I think it is to leave an impact on the world, right? I want to leave my clients better off when I work with them. I want to leave my family better off, my kids, my friends, my teammates. I want to have an impact. And I want it to be a very positive impact, whether that's through sharing knowledge here on a podcast or on a YouTube channel, or just sharing and dispersing information that I feel is relevant to benefiting people from all walks of life. Okay. In today's world, I think we're very individualized. Okay. We're very selfish in a way, right? It's the me generation. And I'm not above that, right? Like I've fallen into that trap. I have social media, but today's world seems very competitive about whoever has the most currency of likes or whoever has the most attention, or, we're people are adapting themselves and getting surgeries to look a certain way. And for me, I think my end goal is to not be judgmental and to have a positive impact on the world through my business endeavors and entrepreneurship things. I want to continue learning, like I just said in the previous answer to the previous question, what is the one thing I would do if I had a choice? And I think that the end goal is, yes, of course, like everybody, we all want to be financially free. We all want to still work. We want to have an impact. We want to be needed. We want to be appreciated. These are very human things that we all want. And I too feel that way. I want to be needed. I want to be appreciated. Yes, I want to make money, but I think money is always a byproduct of doing what you love and doing what most feels natural to you. And I think when people focus on themselves and learn about themselves and deepen their awareness, we're able to sort of listen to our own internal voice about intuition and what it's telling us. Okay. I was very nervous to start this company. I've been very nervous every time I record a podcast, even when I put something out on the internet, whether it's a social media post or a YouTube comment. It's very hard to put yourself out there, but I think there's some bravery and some courage with being vulnerable or sharing some things out there about yourself, saying, hey, I'm not perfect. I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to grow, and I'm trying to share information from whatever plateau that I'm on for people who, this might be relevant for. It doesn't mean you're above or below, but I think we all have a unique perspective on stuff. And for me, building a company is synonymous with building a legacy, right? I've attached my name to this company. Everything that I do, the people that I talk to, who I choose to give my attention and time to, these are all things that are ultimately playing into, hey, I want to be a great father. I want to be a family person. I want to be a CEO. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be able to make my own schedule. And I think that really for me, my end goal is just full autonomy of my life, of my finances, of my mental space, of my physical body. I want full autonomy to do what I want and say what I want, not from an egotistical perspective, but nobody likes feeling like they're an indentured servant for their entire life. And I think our parents and our grandparents, they worked their whole lives for one, maybe two, maybe three companies. And this generation, my generation, the generations before us, they're kind of seeing this and saying, hey, autonomy is more important to me. I don't want to go to college. I don't want to do the traditional route. And I think more people are seeing that in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and even 60s. And I think that's awesome. So my end goal, full autonomy of myself, career, finances. And sometimes we have to do some things that we don't want to in order to get there. So I would encourage you to journal on that question yourself, right? That's a great one. What is your end goal? 5, 10 years, 15 years. Okay. I just took down, if you're watching on YouTube, right there, I usually have a list of my, 3 month, 6 month, 12-month, 2-year, 5-year, 10-year, and 20-year plan. And I have all my goals associated with that sort of thing. And I used to look at that every single morning, every single night when I walk into my room. So I would encourage you to really think about that, right? Is it being financially free? Is it building a company, a legacy, being a great father? What do you want to be known for? What's your end goal? Journal on that. That's all I got for question number 2. And question number 3, I can tell this is one of my current clients, and I'm sure you're laughing as you're listening to this, but Somebody asked me, what are your favorite hobbies outside of work? And this isn't something that people really know about me, or I guess I don't really share in my coaching sessions, but I've been a skydiver for 15 years now. Been skydiving since I was 18. I haven't been in 2 years due to other work obligations. But what I'll say is, man, I love skydiving. I also love traveling, and I love hiking with my dog. Anytime I can go outside and be with my dog, I'm in a good mood. Okay. So jujitsu, I also practice jujitsu. I haven't been in a while, again, due to work and some other things that I've got going on. But these are really, really exciting things for me, right? Traveling is definitely my number one. I love eating food. I love gluten-free beer. If you know anybody, Colorado's the place to go for gluten-free beer. But yeah, I love nothing more than like CrossFit, traveling, skydiving, jujitsu, spending time with my girlfriend and my dog. Like I love being around family, and I love hanging out with friends. But as I've gotten older, I've also become more, I'm not really as much of an extrovert. I'm like a trained extrovert who's really an introvert. And the only reason why I train myself to sort of be an extrovert is because I'm 6'4" and I can't really hide. So I had to learn how to be super personable at a younger age. But for the most part, I'm pretty much an introvert, and I like my hobbies, and I'm happy to be there, and I can totally be the life of the party. But man, really, I'm at an age in my life where I just enjoy my autonomy, and I enjoy spending time with people that I love and I care about, because as the older I get, I'm seeing just how precious our free time is. And that's something that's been a byproduct of my work and stuff too. It's like, I love when I just have time to myself. It's when I'm able to relax. It's when I'm able to recharge. It's when I'm able to reorient myself to the next sort of thing. So those are pretty much my favorite hobbies. Meditating has also become a really great hobby of mine. I cherish that time. That's time for me to be in my mind or out of my mind, or let all the things go. And that actually helps me recharge a lot. But yeah, man, hiking, traveling, jujitsu, skydiving, CrossFit, I guess those are all, kind of going hand in hand, but that's what I like to do. So we'll see if I can pick up some new stuff. I don't know. I'm kind of getting into, I don't know. We'll talk about that on another podcast, but journal on your favorite hobbies as well. I think work, it's actually pretty funny. I think work can be considered a hobby for a lot of people, especially if you're an entrepreneur, right? Because your hobby is something that you think about doing or you make time to do. That's how I would consider the definition of a hobby, right? And when you make time to get work done, whether that's a side project or for a real thing, I would consider work a hobby, right? Maybe that's your profession, however you want to view it. But as an entrepreneur, I think being an entrepreneur is definitely a hobby for a lot of people. And a lot of people like to turn that into a profession, where they become very proficient at it. So journal on that as well. What are your favorite hobbies? What do you like to make time for? And that can be a person, place, thing, activity, whatever it is. Super important question. Great questions from here. That's all I got for this episode. This has been another quick one, episode 29. I appreciate you guys listening. You can go to ckcollective.co and submit more questions on the 3 questions podcast form. I would love if you could do that. That would mean the world to me. So please go on and submit your questions there. Again, they can be anonymous. You can attach your name to it. Doesn't matter. I will give you a shout out. I appreciate everyone that has submitted questions, and I will get more guests on this podcast soon to share their bits of advice, their words of wisdom. I think that's going to be super important for a lot of people to sort of hear other people in the sort of 2 cents that they bring. I'll create questions for them, and I'll mostly shut up in those episodes, because I'm sure at this point you're probably sick of listening to my voice for almost 30 episodes. I know I am. But that's it. Go check out my friend Howie at adsciences.com. Howie's the best in the business in terms of getting social campaigns out there, and you can spend relatively little in terms of getting what you need to get done to get the word out about your business, product, or message. So that's all I got. I'll see you in episode 30. And my name's Cam. This is 3 Questions Podcast. Oh, and go find us on social media. I think it's _3 Questions Podcast on Instagram, and I'll be posting tidbits on there and stuff. So see you in the next one. Peace.